Welcome to Candid Conversations with Candidates, brought to you by Crowing Power in partnership with Lakes Media Collaborative and the Brainerd Lakes Chamber. I'm Lisa Paxton, and it's my pleasure to welcome Reed Campbell. He's here as a candidate for Brainerd School Board. Welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. It's my pleasure to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
Good. Well, we are anxious to get your opening comments and then have a chance to talk with you about some questions. So go ahead when ready.
Great. Thank you. I filed for the third term on the school board, and I just want to assist and ensure that the quality education that I received and my 4 children received from the Brainerd School District continues to progress. The experience I have gained during these last 8.5 years on the school board have taught me how to collaborate and work together with the administration and the other school board members to come up with the tough decisions that we have had to make in the last few years during these difficult financial times. Administration, has been doing a great job with directing the student activities and the learning experiences that our students have been receiving. So I've been very proud of our superintendent, our business services director, who's done a wonderful job. So been happy that those were the decisions that we made and the picks that we made in those positions. So I thank the community for passing the levy referendum last year, which helped curtail some of the cuts that we were facing if that levy referendum would have failed. So we're very lucky to have that happen. We are still deficit spending, which again is another reason that I think my experience will help during the next 4 years on how we were able to get through those tough financial times. And we still have many things to work on as far as on our capital improvements, our building and grounds. We have a lot to put together there and a lot of committee work to do yet on coming up with the funds and keeping our old buildings and all of our facilities in the best shape that they can be. I'm a 1975 graduate of Brainerd High School. All 4 of my kids were graduated from Brainerd High School, and I had the privilege of giving each one of them their diploma, which is a highlight of my career on the board. So I've executive vice president of American National Bank and been there for 8 years and in the banking industry in Brainerd for 30 years. And I live in Baxter with my wife, Sally.
Okay, great. Thanks. That gives us a great perspective. You talked about a variety of topics and priorities, but what do you consider as your top priority if you're elected?
Top priority is, again, working with the budget restraints that we have been faced with over the last 8 years that I've been on the board. As you know, the state funding has not been there, to help us keep pace with our expenses, and the costs just keep rising as we're anywhere else, and so there's still deficit spending that's going on. So we have to be good stewards of the money, of the taxpayers' money, and we have to make cuts where they have to be, and always keep an eye out on where we can make those cuts and keep the quality of the education there, and keeping the great teachers that we have out in front of our students. Okay.
You've got a couple of candidates running for this position.
10 of us, yeah.
So what distinguishes you from other candidates? Give me 3 qualities that distinguish you from the other candidates.
The experience that I have for my 8.5 years on the board, my financial background as far as being in the financial industry for over 30 years in the Brainerd area, and I think my that I am a Brainerd graduate and have been around for 40 years in the Brainerd area and know the pulse of the community, and I'm a good listener.
Okay, great, thank you. You talked about deficit spending, budget challenges. What are your budget priorities, and how will you make sure that they're paid for?
Well, the budget priorities would be in, again, keeping the programs and the current curriculum that we have for teaching our students. Again, that's why we're here, is to teach our students, to have great quality teachers in front of those students doing the job. And I think that's where we have to make sure that we always have the money to spend on there. We have directed most of the funds on new teachers and stuff in the elementary grades. Again, that's where most of the early learning begins, and that's where we should be focusing. Our emphasis should be on early development of the students. So we have directed more of our funds towards the elementary ages and make sure those early students are getting what they need.
Okay. Workforce preparation is important for the businesses in this area. How will you make sure that the students that graduate from Brainerd High School are prepared to enter the workforce?
Oh, great question. We have started the Bridges Academy, which was a cooperation there with the chamber and stuff. So that's been a great new program, to just bridge that gap between students and getting out in the workforce. And then there's a new program that just came out. It's called the NCRC, which is National Career Readiness Certificates. And so you've seen those or heard of those two, and that's again a new program which tests out kids that are probably not going to be going on to college and stuff, and it will give them a test to take, and they can take this certificate onto employers that will recognize that as qualifying as a student that has taken the tests and progressed on the learnings that they have been taking over the years. So that's a new way of getting into that. And I think our AP classes are a big factor in getting students ready for college and stuff. I mean, we have many of our students, seniors, taking AP classes, which after they graduate and go on to college, many of the students are emailing back the teachers and saying, "Well, thank you for getting me so ready for the class, for being ready to take on the college classes and to learn how to study." They really teach them how to study. So I think we've done a great job in getting some of the kids prepared for further learning.
Okay, great. So if you had to pick it, what do you think is the school district's biggest challenge?
The school district's biggest challenge is the stability of the funding. Again, it's too bad it all boils down to money, but many times that's what is the only way we can keep programs going and keep those good teachers in front of people, keep all the programs that we have. We were blessed that we were ready to cut out many of the athletics and activities, and thank God the Brainerd Warrior Way came to be and came up with many funds that helped some of the students that couldn't afford to be in some of the activities and stuff. So we're fortunate for that. And where else were we going?
Just the biggest challenge.
Yeah, the biggest challenge.
You covered it. That's great. Yeah, that's good. Well, we're about out of time. We have about 20 seconds. Anything you want to share with voters that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for supporting me and for supporting our school system for the last 8.5 years. We have many constituents now that come up and help volunteer, that help us with educating our kids. We have the Community Budget Committee now that has very much helped enhance the transparency and stuff of our budget and stuff, and they're just another eyes looking at our budget and our funds and making sure that we are good stewards of that. We have the Brainerd School Foundation that is helping raise funds to help defray some of the costs and some of the programs that we've had to cut out and things like that. So I just thank the community and hope that they feel that I've done a good job on the board, and we'll continue that.
Okay, that's great. Well, that wraps up this candid conversation with our candidate running for school board. Please join us at votebrainerdlakes.com for more of the interviews.